I know you have questions, so do I. But hold on, if you clicked on this video because you were so confused on the plot, the story, and the message this movie was trying to pass across to the viewers, then wait back and watch this video up until the end, because I may have some answers to your questions with regards to the plot, the story, and the message this writer and the producers of this film set out to pass on to the viewer. But in case you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel, guys. I love that you keep on coming back to my channel to see what I'm up to on this space. And in case you're just hearing my voice in my channel, welcome. I really do hope you stay. Please consider subscribing to this channel. I am Ronke Sui. I do movie reviews, TV shows. I talk about reality TV shows sometimes if I feel like it will interest you. So yeah, stick around with me, like I already said, and subscribe to the channel. It is absolutely free. Like this video. It helps YouTube know that you enjoyed the video and you would want YouTube to recommend it to another person. So yeah, that would really mean a lot to me. So yes, without further ado, let's go right into the video. This movie, Inside Life, was directed, it was produced, it was created by Clarence Peters, who is a renowned filmmaker. If you're used to watching Nigerian music video, he has produced and directed a lot of them. And there's something with his music videos, like he tells stories with his music videos. The cinematography is usually great in his music videos, and he's also the CEO of Capital Dreams Pictures. And if you're trying to look at some work he has done in the past, apart from the music videos he has shot and directed, he also directed 180 episodes of Everyday People, which is a very popular TV series if you know it. So yeah, down to my expectations of the movie Inside Life. I started hearing about it sometime at the beginning of this month, thereabout. And when I saw that it was going to be Clarence Peters, of course I expected fantastic cinematography. I expected great lighting. And from the poster of the film, it felt like we were going to be getting a lot of dark scenes. So I wasn't really concerned about enjoying different scenes that are being shot in the dark. Yeah, so we're going to get right into the synopsis of this series. This limited series follows the story of a desperate man, a devoted sister, an ambitious woman, all in a Lagos jail, and it just shows the intersecting backstories of these prisoners, as well as reveals Lagos' darkest secrets. So I don't know why, when I saw the flyer and when I saw the title of the film, the posters of the film, and when I saw the title of the film itself, it just hinted at the fact that this movie was going to be about dark stories of people. It's going to be like really gritty and all that. So I was really excited when I got into the film, and episode 1 I was already getting all of that. I was like, okay, yeah, this was what I was expecting, and it didn't fall short of that. Now we're going to talk about the character and their performances. I'm going to talk about characters that stood out to me, because in this series we had the likes of Jide Kosoko, who appeared later on in the series. In the 6th episode. This series actually has 6 episodes because it's a limited series. We also saw Scarlett Gomez at some point. She was at the 5th and 6th episode of this season. We had Gregory Ojefwa. We also had Tayo Arimoro. We had Otanwa, Gabriel Afolayan, Abiola Kazim, also known as Jigon Babaoja. Now, down to the characters that stood out to me. That scene with Otanwa and Gabriel Afolayan. Goodness me, if I'm going to be watching this series again for something, it has to be for that scene. That scene was so powerful. That scene was so enjoyable. That scene was so scary at the same time. I liked the power tussle between the both of them, and it was very interesting to see the turnout of the event at that table. Like, it felt like one person had more power than the other. I'm talking about Gabriel Afolayan's character. It felt like he had more power, like he was saying a lot. His body language was a lot. He had a lot of guys. It felt like, Megotanwa was in his cabal, so he probably had the upper hand. She had just 2 guys sat behind her. So it felt like Gabriel Afolayan had the upper hand in the situation. But it was very interesting to see how that situation turned out, and how Megotanwa messed him up, ruined him, and took his life. I'm like, what? And quite often you don't expect a very powerful character like that, like a very popular face. I'm talking about Gabriel Afolayan's character. You don't expect them to be discontinued so quickly. Like, we're barely 20 minutes into the series itself and this character was already written off. Let's talk about another character that I really didn't see coming. It has to be Abiola Kazim, popularly known as Jigan Babaoja. I did not see his character coming. He's used to playing this talk, this uncultured, loud kind of character every now and then, but it was really, really good to see him play a very different character in this film. His character was submissive, his character was going through things, his character was cultured, responsible. He had to care for his aging mother who is also dying. The mother is pleading for Ade, that's his character name, to let her die peacefully and stop making all those efforts he's been making in order to sustain her life and keep her alive. But I really liked how we got to see a different side to his a different side to him with regards to the characters he can play in movies. But yeah, I really, really liked that. Also, the third or the fourth character I would like to talk about would be Taye Arimuru, and specifically because of the fact that he spoke Yoruba in this film or in this series. His intonation wasn't entirely clean, but it was decent enough, and you could tell that he had put in much work and effort into learning the language prior to filming. And I really appreciate that in actors. Like, if you're going to take on a role that you're speaking a character or you're speaking a language you haven't spoken before, or you're not used to speaking, or you're not fluent in, almost especially we don't get to see you speak that language quite often, I feel like it's only fair that you put in enough work and put in much work to be able to play out that character really well. And I think you can tell that Taye Arimuru actually did with regards to the Yoruba language that he spoke in this film. So yeah, now on to the things I liked about this film. Let us first of all talk about the story. I liked the story. I liked the message this movie or this series. I keep saying movie, but yeah, forgive me, pardon me. I liked the story this series was trying to pass across. I liked how it talked about the uncertainty of our day-to-day life. We saw with different characters how their life turned out. The young girl that got dropped off by her mother in her father's house, how that single decision of her mom turned her life around. I was just asking my question, like, why did the mother feel like she was safe with her father who is married to somebody else? Like, why did she feel like that was the best thing to do to the child? Because she ruined the girl's life. We saw how she turned out later on in the series. Also, we saw with Jigon's character Ade, just the single decision of him following his friend. Like, if only he had gone home with the medications, he wouldn't have lost his mom. He would not have been left in prison. He would not have witnessed the situation that he did witness. These two sisters who their mom got married to somebody else, and they eventually killed their mom and killed the man. And the sister stayed and decided to take on the blame and let the sister go. But sadly, she sacrificed her life for her sister, who eventually got into danger again. That was really, really heart-wrenching. Like, I was so sad for that. Like, she basically put her life on the line for this same sister who has also gotten into trouble as well. So, it just shows you the different pattern, the different layers to life, and how life can be unfair. I liked that monologue with Ade when he was dumped in prison, and he was like, what had he done? What has he done to deserve this? He's a good person, he's responsible, he goes his own way, he's an upright man, his mother has brought him up to be a good person. And the question the fellow prisoner posed at him, like, who are you to determine how life will treat you? Like, you being a good person doesn't mean life will be fair to you all the time. And it makes sense. Like, that's just the reality of life. I don't know, like, karma or not, most times, people try to say, oh, you put out what you want to receive in the universe. But sometimes, like, what happens to you boils down to your destiny and how your story has been written, and the kind of decisions you take as well. So it was really, it was really interesting to see different layers of different characters and their personalities in this film. Also, the suspense and the twist with the two sisters that murdered their mom and killed their stepfather. You would not expect that after the sister laid her life and put her life on the line for the younger sister to let go, to get free, you would not expect that she would also get into trouble as well. Also with Ade, I mean, I feel like if you were watching the series, you would have thought Ade's story was going towards the fact that maybe we eventually lose his mom after trying so much. You would not expect that him going with his friend Kenny was going to lead him into a situation where he was never going to see his mom. I just liked the twist and the turns in this series. It was, yeah, I mean, it was so good. It was well done. You wouldn't see it coming. I liked that the story was not predictable. It was not predictable, in as much as for some people you would not even have any clue of what was going on. It will feel like you have an hint as to what's going on, and at the same time, I just like, hold on a second, what did they just pull out of that? Like, what just happened? So I really like the suspense and the twist. Ooh, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this series was so gritty. It was so raw. Like, the emotions were really raw in this film. Like, you could connect with each character. You know, the child that was dumped at her father's house for a long time, Ade's character, even the character of the sister that got into trouble. There were just a lot of characters and emotions for you to connect with. Like, even if you're not aware of what's going on in this film, like with regards to the story and the message, you'll be able to connect the raw emotions that, you know, that was on full display in this series, all thanks to the characters and their performances. I also liked how each episode spotlighted different characters and their story, and how what led them to the destination or led them to the situation they are all in, collectively and individually. Like, you know, episode 1 was on Ade, then episode 2 was on, oh, I can't remember. I think it was on the two sisters, yeah, that their mother got remarried. I can't remember their names. And then episode 3 was, I think, on the girl that her mother left behind. You know, like, each episode spotlighted different characters, and I like when series do that. So that way it gives you different perspective into different characters. Like, it gives more room for character development. You get to know each character more, considering the fact that, you know, there's a lot going on. It makes you understand better where this character is coming from, the reasons for their decisions, and why they are in that current situation. So I really, really liked that. I really liked their stories. I liked how their stories were told, how they were introduced to us. Interestingly, I liked how their characters were connected. You know, how, I mean, they did something like that with the series The Nine. I can't remember, this Korean series that I watched recently, sometime this year. So, you know, each episode was spotlighting different characters, and then it brings you back to where we started. Like, okay, this was how this person journeyed up until this point. This was how B journeyed up until this point. This was how C journeyed up until this point. So I really, really liked that, and how they were connected. You notice that Ade sometime came across one person came across the other person. Like, they are connected in very interesting ways that you wouldn't really see coming. So I liked that as well. Finally, I liked the cinematography in this film. There was this shot with this lady. I don't know, I didn't keep tabs on the names of the character. Chiamaka was the girl that, you know, her mother left behind, but then there was this particular character that, you know, she was living with her said sister, not knowing that she was, you know, her mom. I know when she was going for her audition and she left her house, I liked how the camera followed her from her house down to the street, the very narrow path that leads from her house to the main road, and then this very long bridge that connects her house across, you know, to that connects her home or her community to another place where she would eventually like find buses. I mean, for a filmmaker that just wants to get things done, just wants to, you know, make a movie and get it going, you would not put your, how would I put it, like, you wouldn't want to put so much effort into doing that. But it just shows you that it was a filmmaker that made this film, like, a really good one. Because I don't know, it might feel very little to someone else watching, but I really liked the effort and the thoughts behind that scene, that shot alone, like following her. I feel like it gives so much meaning to her character. Like, you can tell that this person is really from poverty. This person is really from, you know, a community that lacks a lot. Like, look at how long she had to walk. Look at the path she had to walk through. Look at the people she met. Like, look at the neighborhood, look at the community. If just for that lays emphasis on the fact that this person is hungry for breakthrough, this person is hungry for freedom, this person really wants to, you know, get out of this community, be a better person, and it just lays more emphasis on how much this lady wants to blow. So, you know, seeing that shot that we followed her, like even the very wide shots that, you know, that we got when she was on the bridge, when she was passing the bridge, I was just like, oh my goodness, this is so good. And eventually, and now seeing how our character ended and where our character ended up, it was so heartbreaking. Like, I feel like all of those things just came together, and it made me feel more connected to our character, or made me feel more sorry for our character. But yeah, I really, really liked the shots and the lighting as well. I always talk about how I really don't look forward to watching movies that have a lot of dark scenes, especially all these gritty films that have crime and whatnot, because sometimes the lighting is just so poor. Like, you can't see the act, you can't see the character, you can't see what's going on. Like, you have to rely so much on the voices and the character and the sound and all that. Talking about the sound was also really, really good in this film. The lighting was perfectly done. I really liked it. I liked it. I'm trying not to dwell on it too much, but I liked it so much. Something about the color grading was also well done. It was also good. Like the scenes where they were beating up Ade in the toilets to clean up the very dirty, messy toilet, and some other scenes as well. The color grading was well done. I really liked it. It added this very good vibe to the series and to each scene, so I really, really loved it. Now on to the things I didn't like about the series. In as much as I said that I liked how each episode spotlighted different characters and their stories and their journeys to up until where we took off at the beginning, I also don't like the fact that at some point for some episode, the spotlight just left the main character and then we went to another person, and then you're like, okay, who is this person? How did this person get to the story? I really didn't like that. And in as much as they were trying to spotlight each character with each episode, it felt like we didn't still get to know a lot about them and maybe how their story ended or what's going on with them. So we should go like an episode on Titi. I don't think we did adequately get an episode on Titi, and right now we don't even know where Titi is, so I really didn't like that. I mean, it left so much room for unanswered questions. I don't know if it was intentional. I mean, people are speculating that there's going to be a second season, so it was probably an intentional move. Also, from episode 1 to episode 4 felt like a very connected story. It felt like it was together. I mean, like I said, we're spotlighting different characters, and it felt like it was leading up until somewhere. And then we go to episode 5 and 6, and it felt like we're in a different world entirely. Not really entirely, but like it felt like we're dealing with new sets of people. You know, we're seeing Scarlett Gomez, we're seeing Jide Kosoko, and I'm wondering, supernatural elements in play. Like, what is the connection between the supernatural elements to the other characters we've seen in the previous 4 episodes? And the sound that a lot of people that go missing these days is probably as a result of something that happened, or as a result of the fact that maybe they're probably in like diabolical hands, or something diabolical has happened to them and all of those things. So I can understand maybe that's like the connection between the first 4 episodes and the last 2. But the way this last 2 was written, he had a very important role to play in the first 4 episodes, and it just felt like he was ushering us into a new aspect of the film. I don't know if that makes sense. So, I mean, that's making me believe more that, okay, we're probably going to get another season. I wish it was done in a better way that didn't make the series feel disjointed, because first episode 1 to 4 was one part, then 5 to 6 was another part, and also like this whole story with the ring bearer and whatnot was they tried to give us a backstory as to what the ring is and the benefits and whatnot, but like what's the connection with that with the other people? I mean, it might seem like a by the way kind of addition to the story, but I mean, the way it was written and the way it was delivered, it feels like it's such a major part of the story. It's eventually going to be a major part of the story if we get a season 2. Yeah, so that really left me curious and confused, sort of, and I had so many questions. It might not be like a dislike for a lot of people, but the supernatural thingy didn't really sit well with me. I don't know how to put it in better words. And there was this scene where one of the girls jumped out of the bus and she started eliminating all the men. I felt like that was very cartoony. It was very hilarious to me. I was just like, I didn't even know when I found myself saying but yeah, like the fast pace and how she was eliminating them one after the other, I was just like, it was going here. Like, that was very somehow. But yeah, I think there was also something I didn't like. Yeah, also the fact that we had so many unanswered questions in this series. Like, first of all, at the beginning, why did it feel like they were all in prison? You saw when the policemen will come out and tell somebody to come outside, and the next thing they're hearing gunshots. Like, was it a place that was created to give them the illusion that they are in a police cell, or was it actually a police cell, or it's not a police cell? Like, how did they move from putting these people in a police cell to now taking them to like spiritual places where they're going to use them for ritual and whatnot? I wasn't really clear on that part of the story? And also, like, why was Ade taken to prison? Was he sent to prison as the killer of Gabriel Afolayan's character? Like, cause this woman, Otanwa's character, was telling him, I am so sorry. Like, what was the reason for him being taken to prison? We will get that answer. We'll get that answer in the next season if we get one. Also, we needed more light on Otanwa's character. How did she carry so much power? Like, she feels like a very big deal. Like, she's controlling. I mean, we later saw her in episode 6 where she was making some phone calls. So, who is she? How did she attain so much power? What is her connection with this ring that everybody or 2 to 3 people now has in this series? Where is Titi? The ultimate question. Where is Titi? Like, within CTT, what's up with what was the correlation between the first 4 episodes and the last 2 episodes? Those are the questions that I had on my mind as I watched this series come to an end. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are concerning this series. Side life, did this review shed more light on it in case you were confused? Now on to my final verdict. I feel like the series was good. I liked the story it was trying to tell. I liked the message it passed across. I liked the way the story was edited, basically. And my final ratings for the series is gonna be over 5. It's gonna be a solid 3 over 5. Yeah, if you'll be rating the series, let me know what you'll be rating it in the comment section. Is it a 2? Is it a 3? Is it a 4 over 5? Is it a 4.5 over 5? Is it a 5 over 5? But for me, I'll be rating it a 3 over 5. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Have you seen Inside Life? Did you enjoy it? Did you understand it? Let me know, what did you like? What didn't you like? What were your expectations? And was it delivered? Was it met? Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to see you in my next video. But until then, make sure to remain happy because you're with yourself. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel, guys. It really, really does help. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.